All right guys, the first part of this video, I'm gonna operate this Vertec right here, this Rope Runner Vertec. I'll show you kind of what it looks like, what it does, what my opinion on it is compared to the second generation, which is right here in front of me. I got them both right here, so I'm comparing them side by side, giving you my initial thoughts. And the second part is I'll be on a tabletop unboxing it and kind of going over the pieces in detail a little bit more. This is my first time seeing it. This is all a surprise to me. I didn't do any research on it before I started this video. It's all new to me. And yeah, I'm up in a tree right now and it's super windy and it's kind of sketchy. I'm gonna install this Vertec on a rope right here in front of you guys. I'm already on the Rope Runner 2 version, so I got another rope here, same diameter. What I'll do here is do these two pins right here, open up the first, and actually let me open up all these pieces first. Now that I've done it a couple times, it's pretty fast. I know it orients this way, so all I'll do is I'll slide the rope in each section and it kind of just goes straight through it. At least, again, this is literally my first time installing this on a rope, so I'm kind of figuring this out as I go too here. But it looks like you're gonna have to kind of weave it through the top part here a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, you gotta kind of, well, that's kind of interesting. Gotta force it through there a little bit. And I have this, again, I have this middle section here set to 3 and it goes up to 7. This is like a 12mm rope. So the first part's on there and it's already closed on itself. Second part and third part go right through here. You kind of have to force it through there. This rotates down, locks. This rotates up and locks. And it looks pretty bulletproof. It's all there. I can go up with it. I can come down with it. And it seems to grab just like the Rope Runner 2 does. Push it up pretty easy, you know, kind of let it down. Looks the same thing here. And let's see what it, I mean, yeah, it works the exact same way as this one. Literally no difference in the operation of it. This one I'm noticing it has this bigger pulley on it right here on the back side. This one has a smaller one. This actually doesn't spin at all. So that's an interesting fact right there. This one spins to help you pull the rope up more. I actually like that. This one, it just has just whatever material, stainless steel. It's just a solid piece right there. So when I pull up, I don't know if it's gonna make a big difference, but it does maybe feel like a hair more work to pull that slack out versus this one. You know, pulling that up, I got that pulley right there, so that's interesting. Sorry about the weather, or the movement of the limb that you're attached to, because there's a storm coming in, and I zoomed up here real quick just to get this video made regardless of the weather. Could have waited for a better day, but yeah, we got some gusts of wind coming in, so this might be kind of hairy. But here's another view. Again, I don't know, it works the exact same way. So based off first impressions, do I think you should run out and buy one of these, the Vertec? Probably not. It's cool. I was already in the market for another rope runner, because this one's getting, I just kind of wanted to have a backup number one in case something happened to this one, and I just wanted like a different color, so I was ready to buy a new rope runner. That's why I picked it up. But it works the exact same way. The slick pins are cool, or these little push button pins are cool, but these slick pins work just as fine. Like, you're not taking it on and off the device enough to make a difference. Never feels good to be at the top of a tree when the wind starts kicking up. Oh yeah, we got a gust there. Woo, going for a ride today. Look at this limb curling up from the wind. Good old gust right there. Hey, but what are the chances this tree falls over while I'm in it, right? Out of all the days. Not gonna be today. I don't know what else to say about it. It looks cool. I'm glad that I have it. Like I said, I was already gonna buy another one. So it's a win-win for me and my situation, but if you're thinking like this is a night and day difference, it's not. It works the same way. And all I'll do is I'll rappel down this tree using it, and I'll show you that on the head cam so you can see it operating. But I can already tell right now it's gonna work the same way the Rope Runner 2 version works. least here are my initial impressions. I don't see why my opinion would change at all. I climb a lot of sappy trees, so a lot of times this thing will get gummed up with sap, and that's what I'm kind of looking forward to seeing on this one. It's probably gonna do the exact same thing. These little metal pieces get sap built up on them, and they just start, you know, being kind of rough. So I think it's gonna work the exact same way. It's still cool, I guess, but if you don't want to go out and just spend 400 bucks, then I wouldn't. But if you're in the market, then I say, yeah, sure, it's gonna work just as good as this one, and it's the newest thing, and it's got, you know, it's a little easier to take on and off a rope. So if you're gonna buy a rope runner, you might as well buy the new one. It's smooth, of course, just like you'd expect. And I can go down as fast as I want or as slow as I want. Let's try to take a little, let's go down through these limbs pretty fast here through this section, see if I can, how smooth it is. Well, that was a good 20-foot drop right there, pretty quick, and it was so totally smooth. Looks like I still have enough rope to get to the bottom, but I'll keep an eye on the base just in case. Oh, there it is. There's the end of my rope right there. Watch this. Okay, you ready? Here's what happens when you run out of rope. Yeah, you fall. All right, here's the unboxing of it, and bear with me. I don't do unboxings very often, if ever. Here's the packaging. It's the metal notch, the way they normally come. There's the metal container for it. Just standard packaging here. Backside shows just the Rope Runner Vertec with all the information here on it. Looks like a rope runner. Little just fancier side pieces here. So there's that. And here's the metal case. Same as it comes with the regular rope runner. Some stuff like a massive user guide for in multiple languages, and then it's only like a few pages for English. Really good finish, as you'd expect. Get that out of there. The sucker's in there. What are they holding it in with? Good Lord. Anything under there? No surprises? Nope. No surprises. Manual for it. And here the little guy is. It looks like they might have had it zip tied in the packaging there. Okay, so here it is. It sets up the exact same way the Rope Runner 2 does. I haven't used the Rope Runner 1 version, only the Rope Runner Pro, the second version. This mechanism feels the exact same way. Oh, that's interesting. So let me go get the other Rope Runner actually. Size wise, they're like the exact same. So most of you guys already know how this Rope Runner version 2 works here. I'll leave it on the side. So I've just unboxed this. I haven't looked at it at all yet. I'm just discovering it the same time I'm showing you this video. One thing I noticed is that this does not come, it stops at that position right there. That's it. Whereas this one, original, it'll come all the way back and sit completely backwards. You push it back forwards and it comes up, obviously like it's supposed to, but it collapses all the way backwards. This one right here does not do that. It stops right there. It's a stopping point. Something's preventing it from going backwards more. Oh, it's this mechanism right here. I don't even know what that does. I haven't even looked at this thing yet. The forward mechanism seems the exact same. It's got a pretty good bounce to it, like it's supposed to. A lot of times these will get dirty and it'll just stay in the down position and it won't work correctly. So you have to, I always spray like a sap zapper or something in there to clean that out. But interesting. Finishes look good. We got our measurements, our adjustabilities 1 through 7 right here. On this device, they're right here again, 1 through 5 on it, and you actually have to use a Allen wrench on both sides to loosen that up and to set it to your. What that does is adjust this piece forward and backwards, and it, makes this hole smaller right here where your rope goes through. This one, same thing, same kind of hole right here. Adjust it. It looks like this piece will turn somehow. This all looks the same. Run your rope through here, run your rope through there. Attachment point looks the same. patent pending stamped on it, some serial numbers, Notch stamped in right there, Rope Runner Vertec, says the rope here's 11 to 12.9, so 11 to 13. Push to open, so these you just push. Okay, you hear that? They're little push buttons. This one says, these all say push to open right here, all push to open, push to open. This side's got some kind of other device here that's got a spring in it, so you push that and it kind of springs back, so that does something. So yeah, it looks like instead of having these slick pins, you know, you got these, you have to compress the two pieces in to push it out. On all these pieces here, this one's got just the buttons. They somehow work, and I have to look at the manual still. But I wanted to look at this first with you guys and see what my very first impressions were. Which, generally speaking, it's the same device. It should operate the exact same way, minus you don't have to use an Allen wrench here to adjust for your rope diameter. And when I'm taking it apart to clean it, which is the only time I take it apart, or unless I do midline, attach it midline, which is not very often, you know, you gotta, you know, it's kind of cumbersome because you have to move these pins out each time, and then you get to open the gates up. It's not bad. This is a perfectly good device. I've used it for the last 2 or 3 years. I just upgraded because this one was getting kind of worn down. Like, I'm using it a lot. I'm wearing a nice little groove in here. You can see there the lighting, the way it's catching it, that's wearing a groove into the metal there. But otherwise, everything else is holding up just fine. And you could replace these parts piece by piece too. Nothing wrong with that at all. I just saw there was an upgrade, the newest version, so I went ahead and picked it up. And I'll bet you I could put this right on my rope and not even read the manual, and it would work just fine, just like this Rope Runner Pro version 2 works. But obviously I'll look at the manual first. On this side, all these pins are solid, so you can't do anything with this side. This side has all the push buttons, and each area that you open up, this is one area that you open up, this is one area you open up, and this is one area you open up. You have to push in both of these buttons in each area. So for example, I'll push both of these in, and then I'll slide the piece up, and that opens it up here. Same thing for down here. You can see the opening, it can only go one way. So I'll push both pins in, and then I'll slide it. Push them both in, and slide it. I was actually pushing the wrong way, but then it opens up. And then for this one down here, it's a little different. You have this push button right here, and then another one here, but that's a little different mechanism there. Push it forward, push that one, and then it'll open up. So what's cool is, like, you can't get these, you can't reinstall this wrong. Like, I could shake this thing all up and crazy. They only go on one way. You can't get it wrong. The only way you could install this wrong on your system is if you install, like, if you install it this way and it doesn't line up correctly. Like, you couldn't even install it that way. That's not even possible. It has to go on only one way, which is this direction. Like, I don't know how else you could, to have your rope running straight through the mechanism like it's supposed to look when you set it up, there's no other way to put it on here where it looks right. Like, I don't know how you could do this wrong. This one, however, you could do it wrong, because there was a way where I had it set up where this is the way it's supposed to be assembled, but I think I've seen somebody assemble it a different direction where, I don't know. I wouldn't think you can mess this one up either, but there is a way to do it. Maybe they just weren't routing it through the right holes here or something. But on this one, there's even, no, I didn't investigate that. I don't know what that's got some kind of grooves in it. I don't know what that does. Doesn't look like it doesn't do anything, but anyways, there's only one hole at the top to put it through, whereas this one has, you know, kind of like 2 spots to put the rope through. So that's kind of more bulletproof about this one, is that the top section when it goes through is only one hole that it goes through there. So again, oh, and let me show you how this cam here operates to adjust the friction of the way it grabs the rope. So push both of these in, that slides up. I actually had to read the directions on figuring this out. It wasn't like that intuitive. There's this little cam right here, and it has little indentions in it, enough where you can grab it with your fingernail and rotate it. So you have to rotate it, and then you have to pull this cam towards you. And when you do that, it opens up this back side. So if I push this, you can see how it's locked now. So rotate your little, I don't know what you call that, little cam, and you have to pull this piece towards you as you have this rotated, and you hold it rotated and it unlocks it. The manual says you have to kind of wiggle it a little bit, but you shouldn't have to force it. Once you have it in the open position, you can line this dash up, this little cutout, with these cutouts here, 1 through, what is that, 1 through 7. So let's say I wanted it to be the max diameter rope, I would go all the way to the bottom with it, and the minimum diameter rope all the way to the top. I'll just start with right in the middle. I haven't put a rope through this yet. I run about a 12, but when it gets wet and it puffs up, it's like 12.5. So I'll just run it right in the center and try it out. Once you push that back down, that cam automatically turned and locked on its own. So I'll show you from this side. So I'll push it closed. You can see this cam lock. It kind of just flipped back into its place, and it's solid now. Yeah, seems pretty easy.